This past weekend, I had a chance to go to the Brimfield Antique Show, which is the largest outdoor antique show in the country and has been taking place since 1959. Here, I wanted to show you a quick map here in Brimfield, Massachusetts, of this one road. On either side, you see all these green names. These are almost all individual antique shows or individual flea markets. And this one road that usually throughout the year is barren turns into almost like a full city with these vendor tents on either side. As you go along, you'll be able to see each of these individual antique shows. So on the right here, you'll see the Black Swan Meadows, which is one full show that's happening. On the left here, you'll see Heart of the Mart, which is another full event that's happening. And they'll be open different days. The actual event goes from Tuesday through Sunday. Some start on Tuesday, some start on Wednesday, some start on Thursday. And as I'd mentioned here on either side, you can see these full vendor tents that are set up either as individual booths or part of the larger flea markets that are taking place. We're going to go find a place to park. Parking at Brimfield is usually really limited, so you end up parking in someone's backyard for the most part and making the walk to the main strip, which is up here on Route 20. But really, once you start walking up, especially if it's your first time, that's when you really are in awe with how enormous this event is. Because you have these individual roads coming up to this main one here, where you get a chance to look on either side and just see how many tents are set up, how many lots are set up, just how many people are there. So this is the Apple Bar, and this is where I'm going to be starting off. It's one of the full show areas. It just happened to be where I parked and I'm walking in. As you can see, these are booths set up along the road, and in some of these sections, this one goes back a little bit further. You have the covered tents. You have a lot of people walking around with their kind of their strollers as they add to their findings throughout the year. For me, in coming to the event this year, I've actually been before as a vendor, but my goal this year is to come and see if I can't find some antique items to resell. So trying to find some good prices if I can, just from my past experience. I know they can be really expensive though. So I'm going to start my day going through some of these more unique tents and sections that just happen to be closer to where I parked. From my past experience, most of the vendors that are in attendance are from the New England area. Every once in a while, you get a chance to talk to someone from the outskirts, more south of here. But usually, the people in attendance are pretty open to negotiation and just good people overall. But as you walk along, you'll find some of these larger tents, like this one, which are actually like antique stores just outside, just covered in outdoors. Still, like any other antique store you walk into, it just happens to be out in the middle of a field. And a rare example, most of the other tents that are set up are mostly individual vendors or multi vendors, but nothing like that. So I was walking along. I was a little bit disappointed by this one. This is the Grand Trunk Antique Show. I was hoping for a lot more. The dinosaur was a good intro, but ultimately really disappointed. It was just one large tent, mostly like furniture and lamps, but I was anticipating a much larger area. But it's a little bit of a disappointment, but still wanted to show you kind of what the inside looked like here. Kind of a good example of some of the larger tents. Next, I moved on to the Black Swan Meadows, which is a good example of one of the much larger sections. Um, as you walk along into some of these, it's just so unique. If you're ever looking for some type of antique, you can't find it on eBay, and you just want to get out and look around, I guarantee you'll find it here one of the days during the week. There's everything. You'll go from one tent that's comics and trading cards to another that's Civil War memorabilia to the next one that's all patches and postcards. I was just entering here and just happened to find one. This is almost like all circus memorabilia and items. Again, just one of those that you just walk up to a booth and you'll find something you've never seen before. One thing you'll find across the board, no matter what you're buying, though, is everything is very expensive, very much overpriced, which is understandable for the vendors. They need to get what they're looking for. But ultimately, even after negotiation, it's very hard to find reasonable prices. And for me, I'm looking for items that I can resell for 2x or 3x. So I didn't really buy much. I was very good about what I bought. One of the things that I did buy, though, was this Fiji stoneware jug. I was paid $15 for it, and for me, I saw that it could be for someone that likes stoneware, someone that likes jugs, someone that's in the fraternity Fiji, that could be a graduate of 1970. all kinds of different crossover, but I figured that for $15 I could easily get 60 for it. So I thought that was a good buy. The other item I bought was this Snoopy luggage from 1965. I got it for $5. I figured that for the $5, I'd easily be able to get maybe 35, 40 for it. It had a little bit of staining, some cracking on the front, but ultimately, I figured it was definitely worth the $5 investment. And I wanted to make sure I had something to bring back to show you guys too, as well. Has the keys and very clean on the inside with the tag. So figured worth the $5 investment. Time to head home from Brimfield. I had a good experience. I was here for about 3.5 hours. Again, coming home with two items. I did have some larger collections, some items that I was considering buying, but again, the price just wasn't right even after negotiation. So overall, I'll probably be back again sometime in a couple of years. But for me and for others that are reselling inventory, probably not necessarily worth the trip unless you happen to be in the area. Most of the prices are just too high, and even after negotiations, you can't get them low enough to 2x or 3x your money. But if you're a collector of antiques and you're really looking for that hard to find item, this is definitely the place to go. You're going to find it with all these tents and all these people out here. So, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. If you have any questions about my visit, feel free to leave the question below, and I hope you get a chance to follow.